South Asian Focus TV. We're having a ball over here talking to Vikas Kohli, our very own star from Mississauga, who's now creating a rage in Europe. Vikas, once again, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks. Props one more time.
Props one more time,
right,
man.
Yeah.
Thanks. Loving the props.
Keep it real.
Man. Yes. No, because you know what? One of the most amazing things about you is you keep branching out in these different genres. You alluded to that fact in the previous segment.
Musical ADD.
Yes, there you go. Fantastic. You know what? That's the most positive association with ADD I've ever heard.
Yeah, there you go. You gotta make everything positive, right?
Yeah, you should do some spoken word too, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
I've recorded spoken word.
Really?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
There's a girl. See, now another plug for another artist, right? Shanice Jen Mohammed, who does spoken word poetry, and actually I'm working with one of her relatives right now, Joseph Pilarski, we're making songs, calypso songs and reggae tunes right now, and they're actually in Aruba right now while I'm finishing the production. Then I'm going to send it off to them, and they're going to start pitching it out there, and maybe we'll have a track in Aruba radio soon.
Who knows? You know what? Maybe we'll have it on here too once again.
I'll be back. You'll be dancing, reggae, calypso styles.
Why not? You know, some more props then.
Whining and grinding. Will I see Wasim whining and grinding?
No, I don't think so. You know, my mom might just throw me out of the house. Yeah, that would be a bit of a problem. So Vikas, tell me something. What I was actually referring to when I was talking about different genres is about movie music.
Right, completely different.
Completely different. And I remember the last time we talked a little bit about, Mission Istanbul and your process in that. There's another movie that you're involved with. You've created some music for. You want to tell us about it?
Sure, yeah. The film, it's actually a feature-length documentary on terrorism, so a pretty heavy topic.
Right.
It's called My Father the Terrorist, and it's the production company's Great Pear Production. The directors Safia Rendera and producers Suzanne Abate.
Okay.
And they were really great to work with, really professional, and they had a nice, clear vision of what they wanted.
Right.
And but yeah, definitely the music for a film can be very different because, particularly in this case, it's like I said, it's a documentary and it's on a very solemn topic. So. You don't want to have a foot-tapping danceable number like what I do with Jennifer. You have
certainly not.
So completely different. I needed something that was dark, like the theme of the film.
Right.
And you need to have music that doesn't steal from the scenes in the film, but it does support what's going on and what the director wants to get. So, I think we have a clip of that as well. It's better to listen to music than talk about music.
Let's do it. Let's roll the clip from My Father the Terrorist.
My biggest worry is in a couple of years, what's life going to be like for Muslims here? And Dad being a member of the mosque and raising money for charities and running the Islamic school, he could easily be targeted just like many of these other people have been targeted.
I was thinking by the time I was 40, I'd go for Hajj and then wear hijab. I won't wear hijab. No. I won't even tell people from Islam. Never.
Why did they want to speak with you?
I don't know. They just wouldn't tell me.
The agent listed the names of my children, her family, our address.
We know that Muslims are terrorists.
What do you think about living in Canada in general?
I love it. There's no place like home.
Or if they're not terrorists, they know someone who is a terrorist. And even if they don't know someone who's a terrorist, they're going to become a terrorist.
Was I shocked to get the next call was from people who were supposed to pick him up at the airport, and they said no such person ever got on the flight. I thought, you see these movies where they see that it happens, like what?
Wow.
So heavy, right?
I have to say that the movie looks heavy, first of all.
Yeah.
But I think, you're right. You said it's not foot-tapping music. Nonetheless, there is an element, that sort of techno beats that were playing in the background. Right. And it's kind of a trend nowadays. Even if you look at Hollywood, a lot of these super agent movies, maybe even going back to Mission Impossible and its famous theme, or the Bourne Ultimatum, movies of very serious genres seem to have a serious music. But unlike back in the day when it'd be like really gloomy, dark music, you can actually even be creative with that too.
I think it's just a matter of, filmmakers being artists. They want to stay current, and even subconsciously, the way they cut their film is different from the way they used to. The pace of the editing, the angles, and the technology for the graphics and CGI and all that stuff that plays in. And same way, and they grew up listening to music, and they don't want to have necessarily, John Williams' huge orchestral pieces in their films because, it's been done.
Exactly.
right? Just like anything else in any art form, you want to just keep doing new things. And so the music, even if it's not a pop number, still has to have that current element to it. And like you picked up on in this case, sort of that there is a throwback to kind of orchestral type sounds, but it is sort of framed in this sort of electronic genre.
Right, fantastic. Vikas, you know what? It's great talking to you about all your achievements, the different work that you're doing. But I understand you've got a great initiative going on to promote young people who want to go into music, and one of it's called Build Your Band. Elaborate.
Right. That's what, as I was mentioning earlier, that's the program started with Landed, and it's all about getting artists to go from just thinking of their songs to like, you know what? If you think of your song, you won't get it onto the radio and onto the charts. So then, come into the studio, record the song, and then right from there, we go into the photo shoot and go into the video production, go into the CD manufacturing, the artwork design. So the whole thing gets covered. And like I said, then they have something to take to the market and say, this is what I am, here's my image, my video, the whole deal. And so that's the Build Your Band project, and that's what we're rolling out to help all the artists get to the stage where they can, and it's called Build Your Band, but it's also for songwriters and as well as solo songwriters as well as bands. And hopefully when more artists come and take care of that, then we'll have more hits and more Canadian talent. We'll bring them on the show. We'll get your foot tapping and
all the way,
and get them in the soundtracks of the films. See, it all comes together.
It does. It certainly does. So that. I'm glad you mentioned that it's not just for bands but for songwriters as well. That means I have a chance, because as far as voice goes, I don't think I have a chance. But
I already told you about auto-tune. You just leave it in my hands. Trust me, make you a star.
Yeah. You know what? I should push my boundaries then.
Exactly. That's it. You don't have to push anything. Just show up. I'll take care of it.
So Vikas, in closing, once again, I know the last time you came, you had a very good message for a lot of our young viewers, South Asians who are interested in music. Once again, if you can inspire us, that'd be great.
Inspiration on the point of just on the drop of a pin, eh?
Yes.
I'm tempted to say "Stay Gold, Pony Boy," but 90% of the audience, I'm not sure, will know what that means.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, that's but Ralph Macchio knows what it means. If you remember who Ralph is, Karate Kid. Anyways.
Yes, I remember Karate Kid. There's a new one coming out, doesn't look that
really?
Good.
Who's in it?
I don't know, some kid and Jackie Chan.
Yeah, there's karate in it too, right?
Yeah.
Jackie Chan, oh yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, points of inspiration. I think it's just, what, don't sit around waiting for things to happen. That's the main thing for it. To get, it has nothing to do with art or anything. I think with everything, like you wouldn't be hosting the show if you just didn't decide one day, hey, let me do something a little extra. So do that little extra. If you want to make a film, start shooting the film now. If you want to record an album, start recording now. Whatever it is you want to do, start it now.
Well said, Vikas. I don't know how to top that. But I do know one thing. I just remembered the guy in Karate Kid, the new one, he's actually Will Smith's son.
Oh, that's right. I did see a commercial for that.
Yeah. What did you think of it?
I don't know. I don't know. I just saw something. But like, I'm thinking, you got Jada Pinkett. She's got her new show too. Will Smith has got all those really bad movies that he does that everyone loves. Still will love them.
Hey, you might produce music for it someday.
Yeah, that maybe I should call him up.
Why not?
I need to get into that whole Jada Pinkett, Will Smith dynasty, because I think with 3 people making films, and that's a lot of work.
Yes, well, because thanks for coming on our show
no
once
problem,
again. We'll be back on South Asian Focus TV after a short break. As usual, you can email us at southasianfocustv@rci.rogers.com and join Vikas and everyone else on our Facebook page.